Good evening, I'm Dr. Fred Rouse, the Real Mentor, and it's currently just about 7 o'clock or so on Tuesday, the 5th of May. I just want to touch base on today's events that affect the way you get, protect, and enjoy your money, your life, and your retirement. And the question for today is, if they open it, will they come? We'll get to that in just a couple of minutes. We start every day with the current COVID cases just to see what's going on. And right now in the U.S., there's over 1,200,000 cases right now in the U.S. We reached another milestone last night or early today. There are over 70,000 deaths right now. 70,000 deaths in basically just the last 9-10 weeks or so. The number keeps growing up. New York State by itself, their number also went up. 321,000 cases, 25,000 deaths. New Jersey still has the second highest number, 130,000 cases and 8.2 thousand deaths right now. Okay, the numbers keep growing every day. Even though they slow down in New Jersey and New York, those numbers keep going up every day. Okay, that's not about to change anytime soon. Now, the problem is each one of those numbers represents a real person. And it's easy to forget that there's real people involved. The volume of activity that's going on with COVID right now in the news, in the states, all over the place, it's changed everyone's lives. And it's easy to forget that each one of those numbers is a family member to somebody, somewhere. And I just wanted to remember just a few of these people. One is Jeff Begley. He was 60. Okay, he was a math whiz, family man, and he was, an unfailingly upbeat kind of a guy. He endured kidney failure and cancer, and he sometimes wore a Superman T-shirt that his wife bought him. He wore it underneath his button-up shirt, just like Clark Kent did. Elias Marcellus, who was 85, is a pianist and a patriarch of a jazz dynasty that included his son Bradford and Winston Marsalis. And both brothers were unquestionable American, the first family of jazz, basically. Okay. Again, the head of the family died, okay, of COVID, and it leaves a hole. George Valentine, okay, he epitomized what it meant to be a dedicated public servant. He was 66, a longtime lawyer in the D.C. Attorney General's office. Later worked as a legal advisor to the mayor, and as a Harvard graduate, he mentored young lawyers and served as a foster parent. Jason Hargrove was 50. Okay. He was the bus driver I mentioned a couple of weeks ago. Okay, he was so upset. Okay, he was driving his bus, and some woman came on who was coughing, didn't wear a mask. Okay, and he was trying to protect his other patients, his other people on the bus, and he posted a video on Facebook about it. He died basically a week and a half later after that. So yeah, it's real. Okay, a lot of people don't think it's real, but it's real. I don't understand why, but I don't understand why people don't believe it. Bucky Pizzarelli, 94, one of the nation's preeminent seven-string guitarists, which is a novelty at this point. He began his career as a studio musician way before forming an acclaimed jazz duo with one of his sons. These are just a few of the names behind the numbers, and they'll be missed. And I don't want to forget these people because, again, each one of them is a family member to someone, a friend or coworker to someone else. And it's easy to pass them by. Okay? And I don't want to do that. I really don't. And I don't think that you should either. You can't be depressed about it every day, every second of the day, but understand that there are people out there. These are real people. These are not just numbers on a TV screen. Okay? Now, what's hot in the news today? Today got interesting. Dr. Rick Bright, who until recently served as director of HHS Biomedical Advanced Research and Development Authority, he filed a whistleblower complaint on Tuesday. Okay. Another one, really interesting. He was ousted after raising concerns about a drug that Donald Trump was touted as a potential treatment for COVID, uh, alleging a long-standing political influence with the Department of Health and Human Services. Now, he raised the alarms way back when about the need to ramp up the production of face masks and other personal protective equipment with the White House officials as far back as January. He was raising the alarms. The report goes on to state that he resisted widespread use of hydrochloroquine, which Trump repeatedly touted as one of the claims, but it lacked all sorts of scientific benefits. Okay, the president was touting this stuff. Okay, on stage every day in the briefings, and a couple actually did it by themselves and died. What a surprise! The husband died. The wife got terribly sick. Okay, but he raised the alarms on this stuff, and he said in his report that he pushed back against the drug, even though the administration promoted it as a panacea and demanded that New York and New Jersey be flooded with these drugs. Went on to state in the HHS report that the political leadership there retaliated against Dr. Bright for his objections and his resistance to funding potentially dangerous drugs promoted by those with political connections and by the administration itself. Bright's attorneys argued that the report that was in tension with the leadership way back when, before COVID cases even got started, early in the Trump administration. Bright said he resisted the efforts to extend a contract with a company whose CEO was told he was a friend of Jared Kushner's, the president's son-in-law, and a senior advisor at the White House. He's been resisting these things for a while, and it came to a head, and they bounced him. What a surprise! Now I'm going to leave it there for now, and we'll talk about that later, because I'm certain, and this is just the first day of the story, and it's going to grow, and more details are going to come out, and we'll see what happens with it at that point. I'm not assuming it's going to be good, though, but we'll see. Anyway, what else is happening today? The Presidential Task Force on Coronavirus is reported to be winding down its operations. That just came out today. One day after the release of a report showing that the deaths could reach 130,000 by August 1st, doubling the number that the president was actually expecting, just a couple weeks ago. Now, that brings us to the question of the day. If you open it, will they come? It gets really, really interesting. For all the presidents pushing to reopen, all the governors doing the same thing, totally ignoring what the president himself and the task force had said, just 2 weeks ago. You had a downward trend in the number of cases for at least 2 weeks before starting to phase in reopening. That's what they said. The president said it from the stage, the task force said it, the vice president said it. It was repeated more than once. And as there are more and more vocal protesters every day, they're all strapped up with 38s and 45s on their hips, carrying assault rifles over their shoulders with their fingers at the ready, and the fact that we barely have enough tests right now, and we've tested barely over 2% of the population, as all these things are happening right now, the basic question remains, if you open it, will they come? Well, in a recent poll, gives some indication as to what people might be thinking. 82% of Americans oppose reopening movie theaters right now. 79% oppose reopening gyms. Opening dining restaurants and bars and barbershops, hair salons were also opposed by 74%. 70% of people thought that gun stores should remain closed. 66% were opposed to retail and clothing stores reopening. Now, airlines bookings, they took a major hit since this got started. They're down 95%. Hotels are down by 80%. So if things were opened, who would really come to spend money? That's the big question right now. Who would do those things? Who feels really comfortable about that? It's a matter of confidence. It really is. And you look at the news, and yes, there's red and there's blue, but there's protesters running around with weapons that think nothing of it, not wearing masks. And then you've got all these people that think that, no, you shouldn't open those things. That means that they don't want to get involved with those things. So if you open something, okay, who's going to come out and spend the money? The people carrying the weapons? They already spent their money on the weapons. Or the people that are staying home right now trying to protect themselves and their families, even though they're frustrated with the stay-at-home orders. It's a matter of confidence. Without the testing, are you going to feel confident sitting down at a restaurant? Do you think that the person across 2 tables away is positive or not? You don't know. Are you going to take that chance? Most people aren't going to take that chance. And the confidence is what's going to drive this thing. Doesn't matter what the president says. Doesn't matter what the governor says. Doesn't matter if you open up a store and put a sign up that says open. Okay, who's going to have the confidence enough to go into the store and shop and spend money? So one thing getting out of the house and walking around the neighborhood. It's a different thing going in to a store in a closed area with other people. Or are you going to spend money? Do you feel confident enough to be able to do that? Most people don't at this point in time, according to the polls. According to the poll that just came out, okay, most people don't think those stores should be open, which means they're not interested in going into them, which makes perfect sense. Now, I'll be posting more on this video tomorrow. I'll post it on my YouTube channel, The Real Money Doctor. And again, check out the channel, like and share the video, make some comments, not a problem at all. There'll be a link in every video that I post to a page on my site with all the latest COVID links. And there's also a present every day, which you should take a peek at. Something interesting, something light generally. Occasionally I put some motivational things in there, but for the most part they're light things just to relax and take your mind off of things. Again, I'm the Real Money Doctor, Dr. Fred Rouse, and my only goal here is to help you to get, protect, and enjoy your money, your life, and your retirement. So again, I appreciate time that we spent together. Looking forward to spending some more time with you tomorrow. Thank you.